Hello and welcome. You can see that we're playing again. Oh, why not? I know you can't really see much happening here on the canvas. I'm just adding ultramarine and alizarin crimson. Just throwing them in a meal and then they'll mix with what we're going to put on over. Just thought I'd do the sky slightly differently today. I've not put any linseed oil down today. I think that'll do for now. I'm not going to wash the brush, I'm just going to go straight into a bit of white and just a hint of that ultramarine, so we're not going too light. There we go. Oh, pretty. It's very easy to get kind of bored with doing the same old, so today something a little different. How's that look? Oh, I do like that. Now, I'm not actually going to add any clouds today. Well, I'm saying that. It may just be that later on I decide it needs clouds, but I don't know what else to do now. For now, I'm just going to blend the sky a bit. The makeup brush finally died, so I've bought some cheap blending brushes there. Let's have a look. Crafter's Choice, Royal and Langnickel. It's just a set of 3 blending brushes. They got mixed reviews, so I thought I'd give them a try. Let's see what they're like. Oh, they're definitely as soft as the makeup brush for blending. One of the biggest issues I saw people having with them on reviews was bristle shed, but I'm not noticing any of that. Any of that. That's it. It wouldn't be a video on my channel without the obligatory wobble cup, would it? No, I'm not noticing any bristle shed, and it has blended that out really nicely and softly, so yeah, all in all, on the first use I'd say I'm quite happy with that. Now my next move, because I don't want to have a mud slick later, I want this painting to actually look like something. I want it to look like we've meant it rather than it's what we've accidentally ended up. Although that's no guarantee that that's what's going to happen. So I'm just using this blue roll to soak up some of that oil out of the paint. And I caught it. Oh, the lipstick. Just blend that back away where I've left finger marks in the paint. That's it. I'm liking that sky. I think that is exactly how it's going to stay. You might have noticed I've got a few extra colours on the palette today. I've got... Hang on. Just let me get my head on straight. I need a brush to do something with. Let's use a big filbert. We've got the usual titanium white, ultramarine blue. I've also added cerulean blue. I've got our alizarin crimson, cadmium red, lemon yellow and cadmium yellow and yellow ochre, burnt sienna, burnt umber and sap green. So that's what we're playing with today. And now that I've started a really dark looking painting, I'm wondering why I've got cerulean blue there. Oh well. Oh no, what I didn't do. If we're going to have some water on it, we really need to do some sky reflections in the water, don't we? We may get over this water, but we may not, so we'll put it in just in case we decide we need it. I can't actually see the bottom of the painting through the camera because I've got like histograms and volume meters and things across the bottom, so I'll just have to wing it, because I never do that, do I? Okay, push out. Use this same piece of tissue that I used to build the sky, just turn it round and just put some oil onto this water at the bottom. The easel's doing some sliding today. Oh, look at that. Let's just do that. Why not? Right. Well, I've got a very dark strip bit of something across the middle there. The wobble gob's in fine form. That should make life interesting. Let's have a bit of burnt umber. Touch of sap green and a little ultramarine. And maybe we add a bit of white to that, see what we've got. That might be a bit too warm. I need to add more. Oh, that's better. Does that look like a distant mountain colour? Do you know, I've actually remembered to put my playlist on today and I've got my earphones in. And I'm actually finding it's distracting me rather than helping me, so I'll just turn it on. I'm not sure if that might be a bit too light. Yes, that's a lot too light. Add some more blue to that. Into the sap green. It's not a very convincing looking mountain, is it? In some shapes. And get the rest of it in with highlights, shadows, details. Just one shape at the moment. mistake, but let's incorporate it because I do like that. But where is it? That bit there. Just this bit of. I can work with that. And again, in the interests of not mixing what, I'm just going to put some paint on. Some I seem to have lost that pig, but we can put it back in. I might just put it back in. Yeah, I think it was pretty much the oil that was making that show up also. Let's stick it back in for now. Right, what we're going to do on the new one, we're not going to use that brush because that's too big a brush for the one now. Clean that. And we shall use, what shall we use? Oh, do you know, I don't know. I'll use this one. Just a little flat brush. Oh, need some blue. Some green. Into lemon yellow. A lot of lemon yellow. Maybe into cadmium yellow. Touch of white because it's too bright. Stick some yellow ochre in it for fun. Right, let's stick some trees on. Let's check the colour first. How's that look? Too bright. Knock it back a bit. Just a touch of the ultramarine, not ultramarine, that was umber. Just to grey it down a bit so it's not so bright. Does that make a difference? I can't really tell in this light. No, it needs to be darker or less green. It needs to be something that it's not. What I need to do is get that blue roll, block that off and start again. So it's better, I suppose. So, fan brush. So I'm going to use the fan brush to just lift up. Just to give it the impression that there's trees. More umber. Stick some here as well. want to add a bit of everything, I think, at this point. What was that I was saying about being deliberate? And yeah, it didn't last long. Did anybody think it would? Yeah, if you do painting, whether it's like my painting or not, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see just how different everybody's styles are. Well, I mean, I have comments with links disabled, but just mention each other. Anyway, I'm sure people can find them. You can all have a look at everybody else's paintings. So I'm sure we can all learn from each other. That's yellow ochre and a bit of that general mud. I just want to change it up a little. The idea is that all these colours can mix on the canvas. That's looking different, isn't it? Interesting, I suppose. Not quite getting the angle on the brush on this side because I'm having to lean across the camera, which makes life a little difficult. I don't know what that side's doing, but it's not doing what I want it to. It's not doing the same as the other side. And the more we play with it, the more mud I'm going to get, so got that blue over there and water all. As if we are just blocking in at this point. We'll do all kinds of craziness over the top of it all later, I suppose. I don't like that hill at all. It needs, we'll sort it. Alright, what am I going to do next? Make sure that brush is nice and clean. Ish. I don't think that brush is doing great for the tree, so I'm going to try the angled flat brush instead. Oh, excuse me. Hay fever strikes again. again with some drops. I don't think they even showed it, did they? I'm not entirely sure what's happening with this one. Other than it's not what was originally intended. Is it ever? This is the great thing about painting. You have to be flexible. You know, if something doesn't work quite how you wanted it, you have to change your mind and do something different, don't you? Okay, let's just do the background mountain thing. Let's just put some highlights and shadows on. Yeah, I think that'll do for highlights. Yeah, I can't stay like that for now. I finished it. I want something really quite dark. I want those shadows to be shadows, not wishy-washy light shadows that I see most occasionally. See, I have no way of knowing how many of my videos any particular person has actually watched. But if you have been watching my videos, and if you're a returning viewer, you already know that I'm not a professional artist. I'm just having fun, winging it, as we say. Every painting is a journey of discovery, seeing what falls out of the brush, seeing how it works, how it doesn't work, what methods work and what doesn't. And you know, there's an argument for saying that most of what I do doesn't. I generally end up with something that resembles a landscape. The brushwork's not of the best, you know, nobody's ever going to call it fine art. But I have fun, and as far as I'm concerned, fun is what they get. That's the whole point of painting. Nobody cares if it's not perfect, at least I don't. Just smushing together here a bit, just to knock this all back into the distance. Where it should have stayed before I tried to put trees on it. You think I know better by now, yeah. Well, apparently I don't. And this corner that I can't quite get to is just not making me happy at all today. I might just have to leave it and stick a tree over it. I am liking this. I'm leaving that. I'm not playing with that. Well, I am playing with it, but I just need to add a little. What's this funky bit here? What's that all about? It's on vertical stripes. How did they happen? Oh, trees, of course. Huh. Let's get this big filbert brush out because it seemed to be the brush that was working. Yellow ochre and some of that. And some cadmium yellow. And just a hint of the cadmium red, and maybe a little bit of this purpley mix. Something kind of orangey. That's okay. Well, that was a happy accident, wasn't it? It wasn't what I was intending, but I'm happy with what it's turned out. Just add some of this dark greenish mix. I'm just gonna can do drops there and just do something. I just really want this side to look something like, and so far it just isn't. I can hear my husband hoovering up downstairs, if he even thinks about bringing it upstairs. So you can't hear anything but the hoover. I'm going to be really upset. I shouldn't have done that bit. Add some more of my yellows and the cad red. Back to that. So let's just. Oh yeah, pretty. Oh, he's getting closer. You know he's going to come up those stairs. Do you know what? I think I'm going to leave them alone because I actually like how it turned out. So, give that brush a rinse. And get another piece of blue roll. And just make some oil on it too. That bit. So if we do put anything over it, we're not going to mix mud again. I suppose I could leave the painting to dry for a couple of days between each stage, but where's the fun in that? It took me a week of the month to do. Now what we're going to do, coming forward, brushes. We like to do bushes. I like to do bushes. I don't know if you like to do bushes, but I like to do bushes. So we'll use the, is it a ½ inch, 3/4 inch, something like that? Not entirely sure. The sap green and just a little alizarin crimson, just so it's not too green. So some fairly small bushy bits back in. Let's just mix a bit of everything, why not? Let's have some mud, some proper mud. You see, I tell you don't mix mud, don't be a mud mixer, always that mud mixing that gives you all these colours. They all harmonise because they're all created from the same pile of mud. Right, so some reflections down. Don't need to go way to the side because this water's not going to go way to the side. So some reflections all across. Yeah, some reflections might be a little bit enthusiastic, but I will go into the water. Maybe not the best idea, but I'm not taking it out now. It is what it is. Actually, I can play with that because I can get some brown. Oh, burnt umber. It's not just brown. I'll add all these dark colours. So actually, burnt umber, ultramarine, alizarin crimson, sap green, all the dark colours. And just add some shadows to the bottom of these. Some dark shadows down, dark reflections even, dark reflections of dark shadows, something. Just, it doesn't look quite dark enough on the camera. On the canvas it looks well dark, but in the camera, not so much. I think that'll do for now. Let's work on something else. What shall we work on? I think we'll work on this near side first because I can reach it. Yeah. What am I going to do? Onto blue. sort of this touch of this cerulean. I haven't used it yet. Just give us a little bit of different green. And, it's far too light, isn't it? Really should be putting dark in it already. Right, but it ain't the end of the world. Quite like that. It's a lot lighter than it should be, but I still like it. Okay, more sap green into that. It's really frustrating not being able to see that the bottom of the canvas through the camera. Bring that across. Well, I'm liking what I can see the look over for now. Bearing in mind we are still just blocking in. We've not even got to details yet. I'm just going to gather up all this mid. Oh dear. Apologies, looking a bit of a mess at the moment, isn't it? So, no, use a tissue and just clean up some of that. Just to give us an area to work with. Now then, where we at? I've stopped that there, so I really should build that up there a bit more, so let's just remedy that. I know that colour's completely wrong, but right now it doesn't matter because we haven't finished it. Ooh, it's okay. I was saying it looked quite wrong, and then I've just looked at it in the camera and I actually quite like it. And put some can't see that. Don't know what that looks like on camera because I can't see it in the corner. I'm a bit sick of seeing that, aren't I? I can't see, I think I'm blind. Okay, and again. I really don't want to hook this up, mixing a whole bunch in water. I know I'm mixing wood on the palette, and occasionally I wanted to mix on the canvas, but I don't want any mud mixing on the canvas to be my idea. Oh, I could see through the camera if I did that. So no, can't focus on it. My arms aren't long enough to get it far enough away from the camera to hold it up and be able to see. The joys of old age and failing eyesight. You know, this is turning out absolutely nothing like I envisaged, and I'm absolutely loving it. not sure what this bit here is. It's just, yeah, you're not supposed to do that, but who cares? Now, what are we going to do in that bottom corner? I know one thing I'm going to do. I'm just going to bring this along a little so I can actually reach that corner. So I'll just have to bear with me. I just need to move the camera a little so you can still see. Now we've got this water coming along. There's a little bit here. Do we want it to turn back or do we want it to tootle across? God, I'm giving this camera some abuse, catching it with my fingers today. Have you seen the state of my hands? Look at them. Good. Not sure where the purple came from. Must have been from the beginning when I was doing the ultramarine and alizarin crimson. Okay. What to do, what to do, what to do, what to do, what to do. I need to cover this bit where I didn't touch yet. I'm thinking maybe just something coming up and out and let the water flow round. That sounds like fun. Let's do that. So, use, that's green. Well, I've got a bit of both blues there. I didn't intend to, but why the devil not? Oh, that seems very red, doesn't it? Yeah, I've not actually used the Sienna at all. Kind of makes you wonder why I put it down, don't it? Right. Brushes, not brushes. The brush is what I have in my hand. The brush is what I'm beating on the canvas. How long have we been going? Oh, nearly 45 minutes. And both cameras are actually still going. That's a minor miracle, I think, considering that I usually have some degree of problem. Well, that's covering that bit of mountain that I didn't like, isn't it? The easel's making some funny noises. To give some shape to some branches. I'm not showing the trunk and stuff. I want this to be a tree that, like, it's just behind the viewer. Where we're stuck, this tree's just behind you. So it is everything. Just to show the shape of the branches this way. Don't ask me what kind of tree this is. I never know what kind of trees I'm doing. I'm just doing painting trees. I'm just throwing paint at the canvas, having fun, and not really caring. I highly recommend it. It's fun. You know, when you're not invested in how your painting turns out, painting itself, the whole process just becomes so much more fun. Okay, now that I've got that there, let's some shadow in this corner. Because this side is very light, isn't it? Oh my days. Oh my god, my husband will kill me for saying that. He hates that scene. Oh my days, it's the stupidest thing I've read. And I just let it slip out. Probably because I've heard it so many times on so many different YouTube channels, TV programs. And he's right, you know, it really doesn't make any sense. See, I'm wondering if we've finished blocking in yet. I think we might have done. I think it might be time to do that thing where I turn and put the blue across the canvas, turn the cameras off and go and have a coffee and come back and carry on. Most of that oil's been taken out, so that's what we're going to do. I knew that was going to happen. Before I even started, I knew that was going to happen. Anyway, like I was saying, let's just lay the blue roll down. I'm going to go and have a coffee. I recommend you do the same. Or just hang around a couple. Okay, and we're back. Let's just peel away blue roll. As usual, you can see where it takes the oil out of the canvas. Just give us a nice, reasonably dry base to build on. And I'll lift a brush in there. Oh, I should know better than that, shouldn't I? Might be time to change the brush cleaner. I think the brushes going into it are starting to be cleaner than the fluid. Right, now I think all we need to do is tidy this waterline up a bit, put something on this waterline. I'm leaving this hill and this mountain. We got rid of the ones I didn't like, which is cool. And then it's just a matter of highlighting and what have you. So let's start by, before we go any further, let's put our waterline in. So we need some of that. A little bit of the mucky brush cleaner. Bit off, and I actually did it. Can I do this bit? No, okay. That's the question. And the answer immediately is evidently not. Because I've got a right. That is going to have to be scraped off, I think, and rubbed in until it disappears. Guess we've got some kind of current around there on the water. I'll do the same here. Since we've got that massive chunk up there, let's put some more ripply bits in, just for fun. Ripply bits. Is that a new technical term or an old one? I'm not entirely sure. And I forgot to turn the microphone back on. So, who knows what you've been hearing over the last couple of seconds. Right, I think, let's put that down my rubber hand with that. That's on there. And we'll use this brush just to soften some of that. It's not a blending brush, but it is doing its job. Kind of looks watery. I'm going to have to do something about that. I'm going to use a tiny little flat brush. Just gather up some colours. Don't need to mix a lot of this because I'm only doing a little bit. Picking up more of the light than it's laying down dark, isn't it? Let's put some of it back in. I need to be a little more brown for that far in the distance. Not convinced it's working, but a bit more bright. Something resembling something. I think we've gone all off kilter on this one. But as usual, I'm not worried because it is what it is. It's just having fun. Playing with paint. And as I've done that, I think actually because when we come to put highlights on that, we can do little blendings and things. And then we can pull some of that colour down. That's better, marginally anyway. It's better enough for me to leave it alone, I think. Soften this edge a bit. That'll do. Stop playing with it. I'm concentrating more on foreground areas and highlights. It seems like our main light source is here. It's hitting this side and this side and the tops of these, and it's definitely hitting this. Maybe around the outside of this tree, but I want to keep the inside fairly dark. So I think I'll go back to the 1-inch brush. Get all these dark colours out again. Reinforce the shadows here. And you have to paint already, so let's throw some more at it. Put some paint out of bristles. I'm liking that. It's giving it some depth, isn't it? I say that far too often, don't I? Okay, but that. Just filler words because I realise I've not spoken for a while. Or sometimes it's just me telling myself, right, you've got to do this. Talking to myself rather than to whoever I'd be watching. Yeah, I'm liking that. But now we need some more dark in this other bottom corner. So you can't really appreciate the light colours, you know, where you've got the light hitting things. If that's over there, it's in the way again. Well, I'm saying again, if you haven't watched the videos, you've not seen it in the way before. Trust me when I say it does it regular. I have it somewhere and then realise I can't get to a corner of the canvas. Some shadow along there. Well, that is shadow, but the light shadow makes it quite light, doesn't it? I still can't see the bottom of that canvas. I'm just going to have to take it on faith that it looks okay. Right. This down here while I clean the brush. Yeah, I went out for coffee. My husband asked me what something was on my face. He thought I was bruised. Apparently I'd got paint all over my face. She said, well, it's been raining on and off all day. It's quite hot and muggy today. So I was a bit sweaty. You know, you rub your sweat out your eyes and get paint on your face and people think you've been beat up in your sleep. Now I want on the yellows. And a little bit of card red there. over mixing them. Just tap it into brush. Give some bushes some highlights. And maybe this tree. A little something. I'm not finished with this tree yet because it really is foreground. It needs something with a little more detail to it. So I am going to get a detail brush out and perhaps do some proper leafy things on it. Some more colours. Onto the edge, just so I can get that bit where I want it. Probably notice my colours are going a bit autumny, as usual. I'm actually quite liking the look of that. Yes, that wasn't until I did that. Now I need to put them back on the view, don't I? Because they looked way better before I went across them. It'll do. Stick some yellow in that. I know that looks a bit bright, but I am going to play with it a little. If we're going to do autumn, we may as well do it properly, aren't we? We've completely lost that waterline, haven't we? Oh dear. I do think sometimes that I shouldn't be allowed to play with paint. And there are probably plenty of people who agree, and I don't care because I'm having fun. I've had some of the red mixture, a little, maybe a bit of this dark, just into this. Well, it's looking something like something. And as usual, I will say, don't ask me what. It's looking something like something. Let's just rip off one of these bits of blue rock that I used before. Shift that over there again. Must remember to take that brush out. Just crunch that up. Dab it. Just to mingle those colours. Same along here. And along here. Dark again. I think I wonder why I end up covered in paint. It's because I keep grabbing onto the canvas. Just along here. Just to soften everything and knock it in. And then just crunch up some more blue roll. Same piece of blue roll, just a clean piece. Or a clean area on the same piece. I know what I mean. Might not be what I say, but I know what I mean. Get these edges up a bit. Right, now I need a detail brush. I use this one. You might have seen me use this one before. Quite often use it for tiny clouds. It's a lovely little detail brush. Again, not an expensive one. It's a, see, Artify. Just a cheap set I got from, no, I didn't get, my husband bought me them, just from Amazon. Nothing particularly special, but they do the job. They're just grabbing bits and just gonna gently just add some detailed leaves to this tree. This tree is supposed to be closer. Just add some paint thinner to that because it's not wanting to stick. Vary the colour a bit. That colour would a bit muddy, wasn't it? I want to give this tree a little more detail because it is right there in the foreground. It's more in focus. So it needs a little something. Just have lots of concentration on this because the temptation is to just go at it really fast and get it done with because it's very time consuming. But, you know, rushing will just get you sloppy marks. Sloppy painting is for this that we've already done, you know, like the blocking in and smushing about and not really caring for this pen painting. I just want to do something that's a little more deliberate, right at the front there. And a little more. So wiping my paintbrush off each time I come to the palette, because I know I'm picking up this dark colour and I don't want to contaminate the colour on my palette with it, so I am giving the brush a wipe in between. What do I saw back today? I can't tell if you're standing there painting doing me any favours, but I've had a whole week. The house has been full of people. And I'm all peopled out. And now I just want to paint and do my own thing for a minute. And of course, when you tell people, you know, I'm painting and recording, doing a video, unless they want to be on the video, they give it a wide berth. Unless, of course, you count the other week when my husband stuck his head round the door. Hadn't realised it started recording. I'm liking the way this is coming out. I'll just keep adding these reds and yellows in varying amounts just so we don't get the same colour all the time, because we want some interest to this, we want some variety. It doesn't want to be the same thing over and over and over. Go something a little more crimson. What do we reckon? Are we getting there? And yes, that was ultramarine I just added. Just want to add a little. I want something a little cooler for the shadows. I still want some low light. I want something in there, something of detail, but it is in shadow. I'm not even sure if that's showing up. It's not really, is it? Right. Add a little more light to that. can't tell if that's showing up or not, because by the time I come away from canvas I can't see on camera where I've just been. I think she says, does she ever think? Does she like just a little bit of detail on this one? I think we're almost done with this. That looks horrible. Too much colour all in one place there. Let's just turn it down a bit of dark. Make up something orangey. Bring this more red colour into the foreground, and I can do something a little more muted on that little headline there. We really aren't nearly done, I promise. Somebody's got a loud mouth outside. Very much more yellowy. I'm going to let this and go with the background colour a little more, because we don't want it quite so defined. And a little of it to the water. Right, I might have a bit too much of that yellow one there, so we've used this blue rod quite a lot today, haven't we? I just want to knock that back. Need some more shadow putting back in there. Going with the shadow colour. It went that shadowy there, wasn't it? More green. Oh dear. Just darken around there. Yeah, there's no fancy brushwork either. It's not my style. I want to paint just like anybody can paint. Give people the courage to give it a go. I'll just mess that up. That's very red, very red. Excuse me getting a break from and everything. I am so sick of moving that brush cleaning pot out of my way constantly. I do say if you've messed it up, don't keep going. Yeah. Smush it off and start again. I don't want to. So I'm gonna. That's a distinctly different brush to the one at the front. Just put this back over here. I do need to clean a couple of brushes. And you know what? I'm still not going to put any clouds in that sky because I actually do quite like that without clouds. Which is not something you hear me say often because I do tend to have clouds. I'll go put that in, squish them into. This is not something I would do, but I just feel like it needs something. Let's call that done. It's different. Not entirely sure where the water ended up coming. But we've got water, we've got trees, we've got mountains, we've got sky, we've got highlights, we've got shadows. We've got cool colours and warm colours. On paper, it should be a perfect composition. It's not perfect, it's far from perfect. But I had fun doing it, and I hope you had fun too. And thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.